Hi, I'm Sarah Radin, and I'm a graduate student in the Communications, Culture, and Media program at Drexel University. I've so far completed one term. I started in the spring, and this is my second term, but I'm only taking one class this summer because I'm focusing on a book project right now. I have a lot of hobbies, but my number one hobby is probably writing. I have two newsletters on Substack. One is called Baby Girl, and it's about girlhood in the media. And the second is called Trend Friends, and I write that with a friend, and it's about emerging cultural trends and taking a more political perspective to some of the trends that we see circulating today. In terms of my hobbies, I already answered that question, sorry. In my spare time, I love to hang out with my boyfriend, love to eat, I'm a big foodie. I love vintage shopping, I collect clothes like artworks, and I love hanging out with my cats. My professional goals and interests lie in critiquing youth culture, cultural trends, girlhood, gender and sexuality, politics. I am interested in writing books, and I am currently working on my first book proposal with an agent, and that's been really exciting. It's about the Sephora kids, and I'm going to be touching on how aspects of the movement connect with me and my personal experiences. I'm hoping to learn how to feel more comfortable in front of the camera in this class. I've tried to make videos of me talking about my work in the past, and I felt very uncomfortable. It's been really hard for me to get the words out and feel proud of what I look like and how I feel about myself. So I would love to pursue content creation more. I already have a fairly large platform on Instagram, but I never really do reels. I started doing TikToks last summer, but my friends would joke that they were like movies. They were just way too long and slow. So I just really have no idea what I'm doing, but I want to become more experienced and comfortable creating content. I'd love to share the process of me writing my book, hopefully if I get a book deal. I'd love to share the process of me writing my book online on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and really build up some buzz around my book project and future projects. I've been blogging since around 2014. That's how I got into journalism. I started a blog back in 2014 where I interviewed artists and designers who I found interesting and wanted to connect with more. Along the way, I started reflecting on how interviewing other creative people helped me figure out my own identity as a creative person, because that was something I always wrestled with. And along the way, I found that writing was a great way for me to connect with people that were interesting and tell stories that I found beautiful and fascinating and important, without necessarily having to take on what those people are doing, because I had interest in all these different areas. So like, I was able to interview a fashion designer and learn about their process without me having to become a fashion designer, even though I was interested in fashion. So along the way, I started writing these like reflective pieces, and then I started pitching my work to publications, and within a few months of starting to pitch my work, I somehow wrote for the New York Times. And I guess what I'm hoping to learn in this course to further those goals and interests that I mentioned earlier about writing books, I would love to share more of my personal experiences and perspectives with the world. I'm a very thoughtful person. I think way too much and think critically all the goddamn time. And I think it could be interesting to share that perspective. And I've found that like sometimes writing a story for like one of my newsletters just takes too much effort and time to get content out there about important topics I want to talk about with my audience or my followers. So I guess I would say I'm just hopeful that I could not just blog but also vlog about stories that I find interesting or stories from my personal life that I feel like would resonate with people.